It's time for the Justin Tuck Report, brought to you by Johnny Walker and PC, Richard and Son. Justin, tell me, what do you think about the way the Giants performed yesterday? That what Don and I said at the start of the show, they didn't play well for the 6 games they won in a row. They just happened to do it against teams that weren't that great. Yesterday, competition went up, and they ended up losing the game.
I agree with you. I think, what I see from this team is they do have a tendency to kind of play down to their level of competition. And it doesn't seem like to me that they've kind of, normally you see teams grow, right? I just think they've kind of played at a constant level over these last 6 games. And like you said, it was against, competition that wasn't as good as the ones they're about to face in these, including the Pittsburgh game, but the next 5 games. And they just, I don't know. I don't think that they did anything, like you said earlier. I don't think they did anything that was, surprising to me. I didn't think going into this game that they were going to win this game. I thought that it was going to be closer or better played than what I saw. But
yeah,
I don't think I'm surprised by this outcome. I'm hoping that it's something that where they go back to the drawing board and realize that maybe all the smoke that people have been blowing their butt the last 6 weeks about being 8-3 and things of that nature, that you really got to realize in this league, man, you have to grow every week, and if you don't, now at the end of this season, at the end of this last week, all these records and all that stuff you're seeing, it really doesn't matter, man. Some teams are built for playoffs. Like you talk about Pittsburgh, you talk about the Baltimore, teams like that might not jump off the stat sheet as being, I think they're like 6-5 and 7-5 type teams. But these teams are built for playoff runs, and you can throw the records out the window right now.
Well, the one thing I want to debate with you a bit is playing to the level of their competition. I think they've kind of played the same way all year. Really, haven't they? I mean, that loss in Pittsburgh was almost identical to the loss in Green Bay, almost identical to the loss in Minnesota, where they weren't bad enough to get blown out, Justin, but never did you think they were good enough to win the football game. And I also thought that the way they played was no different than they did against Chicago and Cleveland the previous 2 weeks. So to play at the level of your competition, isn't that making an assumption that this team is actually better than they are?
No, I think what I say about that game Sunday is I think if you take away some of the critical mistakes, like the interception, this game is a lot. I think it goes a little bit differently. So I think what I meant to say, or what I wanted you to get out of what I was saying, is the fact that if you put this Giants team and that Pittsburgh team in a 10-game series, I honestly believe that they probably would win 5 out of 10. But like I said, they're not getting any better though. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be the type of team that's going to challenge the Pats for the AFC. I don't think that's them this year. But I just don't think the Giants are getting. I don't think normally when you see these playoff teams, right? You see these 8-3 type teams. They seem to just continue to grow every week and further separate themselves from the pack. Even though the Giants were 8-3 and 9-4, I never saw them separating, and that's kind of what I meant by just playing down to the level of. Normally you see these teams and they come to the game like this, like that game against Cleveland. That should have been a game where the Giants didn't play their starters in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And so that's basically what I meant by that.
Talking with Justin Tuck, his weekly segment on the show now. Under no stretch of the imagination do we blame yesterday's loss on Odell Beckham Jr., but there's always something to talk about with Odell.
Always.
And let me throw this at you, Justin. You're a 2-time Super Bowl champion, and your teammates have your back all the time. A great touchdown catch by Antonio Brown where he comes down, lands his elbows inbounds, and it's a great catch and a touchdown. And Fox cuts to a shot of Odell Beckham Jr. smiling.
Yeah.
What would you do if that was your teammate? And did that bother you watching that?
It definitely bothered me. It doesn't bother me that they have a relationship with guys opposite the field. What bothers me is within that 60 minutes that I'm playing, I played Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, in Arizona, Super Bowl 42. Opposite of me was my first cousin, Adelius Thomas. And I told him before the game, if we're on a special team, I'm going to try to knock your head off. And that's just how we were. That's how we are. So within those 60 minutes, the only friends, the only compadres, whatever you want to call it, I have is the people that have on my life jersey. I don't care if it's my brother, my mother, my whoever on the other team. That's my ending for that 60 minutes. Now, I don't have a problem with him being a fan of AB or anything of that nature. I have a problem with him celebrating, it seemed like, when he just beat your teammate. And I think that just didn't bode. It didn't sit well with me. And I mean, at the end of the day, these type of players are completely different from the type of players that I played with. I think I got out of the league at the right time, because I don't think that would really, really bother me